Hello, thanks for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I'm Nikki Maduro. She's Kim McAllister, and it is on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it is.
California versus Texas and the redistricting battle. Governor Newsom today signed it because we have approved these maps, and we are going to get into it today. But before we do that, please hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. And we need your support for this show. So if you can, please do support the show in any way through the super chat, super stickers, our PayPal, and our Patreon. And of course, we always say a big thank you to all of our supporters that have supported us from the very, very beginning. All right, Gavin Newsom, the meme king that just keeps going. That is honestly getting me through this insanity in the democracy fight right now. Yeah, he signed the bill this afternoon. He just had a press conference where he was signing it. This after, of course, Kim, California Republicans on their high horse were trying every which way this week to stop this these redistricting maps from happening, but they approved it. So there's going to be a special election on these new congressional maps. Now, again, there's going to be a special election to even put forth these maps. Gavin Newsom was saying that this is the first time in American history that the American people have been able to do this, right? And we talked about this last week, how I had my concerns and all that sort of stuff. But let us know in the comments what you think about this. I'm ready for the fight. I kind of got over my worries last week, Kim. Maybe it's because I've just been reading more and more of Gavin Newsom's battles against Donald Trump. But I think obviously we need to do this. But you know what else has been lighting a fire under my ass? It's actually the California Republicans. And they're the messaging that they're coming out with. And my message to them is like, say that to your GOP colleagues in Texas, and we wouldn't even be in this mess. All of the problems that you're saying, just say that to them, and we would not even be in this mess. But of course, they don't want to do that. They just want to call us out. But I don't. That's just my thoughts.
Can I tell you? Yes, the Republicans are annoying, and they're going to try to legally, get in the way of all this and do what they're going to do, and they're not going to be successful.
No.
But this whole trolling Trump thing, I'm finding delightful.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And I mean, first of all, is it not a wake-up call to anyone who, I don't know, took Trump's tweets seriously or liked them on the other side? Does it not, the satire of it, does it not look ridiculous? Because he's typing like him. He's trying to talk
the all
like
caps
him.
Is
the
so
all
funny.
Caps, the poor grammar, the commas in the wrong places, everything. Super funny. And when pitted against other candidates for 2028 and hypothetical matchups, suddenly Newsom is skyrocketing. Do you think it's because he seems to be, with this whole trolling thing, the only one really willing to stand up to Trump right now?
I think that he's giving This is my thought. I think that he is giving Democrats the permission to kind of play dirty. I'm going to play you a little clip.
I was going to show you this picture.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me see.
Have you seen this?
Oh, yes.
This is this AI picture with Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, and what is that Fox News host?
That's Tucker Carlson.
Thank you, Tucker Carlson, with their hands and praying over Newsom as if he's the anointed one.
Oh,
kind
God.
of in the same vein of these Superman pictures they posted of Trump and the Trump in the church with the Bible, as if the Bible wouldn't light up in flames if he touched it. All of these things. So I just thought that was so funny that it's like it's a page out of his playbook almost.
Right.
You know?
And that's the point. It's like when you see it like this and all of the that they've been given a memo, all the right-wing commentators to be like, this is just ridiculous. Exactly. So here is, and I'm glad that you showed that picture, because here is Gavin Newsom, and he does this podcast. And of course, he's been talking about this, and he's kind of talking about how the reaction that people have had regarding these memes. And this is
No,
what
I
he had
mean,
to say.
even poor Kid Rock. Yeah, these guys, they've become a little precious, haven't they? These folks at Fox, they're like, oh, this is so unbecoming of a governor. Oh, and meanwhile, reading his tweets every single day. Are they that tonally out of touch? I mean, it's jaw-dropping how precious and concerned New York Post has gotten all of a sudden. How the Wall Street Journal head board is like, oh, no, we can't have this. I mean, what? I hope we're exposing it all. I hope we're exposing it all, and I hope we're entertaining some people. No.
And what's funny in the way that he's talking right there, Kim, is we're kind of getting into the mud a little bit. And I think that's what I mean by Newsom is opening the door for Democrats to be like, just play the asinine game that we were like, this is below us. This is not presidential. This is not an adult. Remember, this is all the things that we said. It's like, this is not how a president is supposed to behave. And no, it's not. But we're just showing you how absolutely ridiculous it is when somebody else does it. You don't like it, do you? It does seem stupid. So I don't know if it takes a little bit of the power away from Trump, but I love it. And I don't want him to stop. Like, that's the point. He can't actually stop it now. He has to keep it going.
The beautiful thing about it is it's ridiculing Trump by doing the same thing he does, almost to the letter, and it's making him so mad. If you think what you're doing is okay, then why are you so mad if someone spoofs you like that?
Exactly. Dana Perino, she's like, it's embarrassing. His wife should tell him to stop doing it. And like, he's like calling her names. He's made up nicknames for all the right-wing pundits like Tommy Lahren and all those. And while on one hand, I'm like, are we really going to like do the name calling? Yes.
Yeah, we are. We're doing exactly the same thing.
We are going to do the name calling because that is what he does. That is what he does. And it's interesting because then he has to also be, a governor, and that's not his personality. No. So if he does an interview with, let's say, Dana Perino or some of these people, he's not going to be like Trump where he's like, you're nasty. That's not who Governor Newsom is. Donald Trump is that person.
He's the same in the text versus in the in-person interview. Yeah, it's true.
So that's going to be the difference, is that when you actually see Newsom in public, he's not going to be the same way. But Gavin's policies are still a failure. Although we are still the 4th largest economy in the world. That you cannot deny that, John. Now, do we have major problems? Yes. Countries the size of California have major problems. And I will say, some of them fall at the feet of Gavin Newsom, and we have talked about them ad nauseum. But there are things that Trump has been a failure at as well. The largest one, bringing this country together. Like, he has divided this country in modern times more than anything. He has taxed us to death with these tariffs. And he's totally changed the Republican ideals regarding taxes. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And he's made people believe it. The misinformation. I was reading a story where people believe that they're more afraid of misinformation than I think terrorism right now.
Yeah.
That should tell you something of the age that we live in right now. It's crazy.
Reading Rev P's comment, Tim Walz was told by the Harris campaign to tone down the fight, stop calling them weird, and then he blew it in the debate. Should have been allowed to fight.
Yeah, maybe that's a very good point. Now back to the maps. Something very interesting. So they were being asked who drew the maps, because we know that the Texas maps, Trump basically, right? He's like, these are how I want it done. And, obviously Abbott just bows down to Trump. Well, apparently these new proposed districts were drafted by Paul Mitchell, who owns Redistricting Partners. And so I Googled Redistricting Partners, and it's basically owned or run by Paul Mitchell and his wife, who is this woman by the name, I'm losing it, Jody Hicks, okay, who's his wife, who is also the CEO of Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California.
Okay.
So these are but apparently what people are calling out right now, people that are very much against the redistricting maps, is nobody ever seems to mention that Paul Mitchell and Jody Hicks are married. Like they're not, like these two facts are not commonly mentioned together. They don't have the same last name, obviously. This is a power couple. He runs a redistricting company and he's married to the head of Planned Parenthood of Affiliates of California. Two very powerful political people. So, like, I just don't, of course, if I was the head of Planned Parenthood and I was married to a man that runs a redistricting company, I mean, I think that obviously I would have the bending of the ear of my husband to be like, yeah, we have major issues here. And if you don't think that that's true and you don't think that there's any sort of influencing going on there, I mean, I think that there's a bridge I could sell you too. I mean,
well, I mean, the whole point of redrawing the California maps temporarily until 2030, right, is to fight this Republican
it is political
district theft. And so the Democrats are trying to squeeze out more blue districts, if you could call them.
right.
So I don't think her influence is really a problem.
It shouldn't be hidden. People are like, this is, yeah.
Why? Because the Democrats have tasked him with drawing these maps to get more Democrats out of it. So isn't everyone on the same page with this?
Well, the funny thing is people are like, this isn't fair. These maps aren't fair. The whole point is exactly what you were saying, Kim. It is to give a democratic response to Texas taking these 5 districts. We're not going to make it fair. We're not doing it to give them a chance.
No, if you told me it was a normal year after 2030 or before 2026 or 5, when we want fair maps and we want everything to be on the up and up for voters, right? If that was the case, then yeah, maybe she shouldn't have her husband's ear, or maybe we should go with somebody different, or what have you, if he can't be impartial because he has the influence.
Well, he shouldn't be on the independent commission, obviously. Yes.
That's right. But the fact is that if voters say yes, that they want the districts redrawn like this, which how crazy is it that Gavin Newsom has taken it to the voters to say, you want me to do this? You want me to move ahead with it? Right? I think that's a lot different than the things that are happening in Texas where they're just doing it.
Exactly.
Right? So he's going to ask us, do you want me to fight Texas and pull as many, blue representatives out of the state as I can so that the rest of the country doesn't have the election stolen by what they're doing in other red states? If we say yes to that, then they'll move forward. And the goal would be the same, whether his wife is telling him to do it or the governor is, or the voters are.
And I think that honestly, with abortion being one of the top issues for Democrats as well, reproductive freedom, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that, I mean, obviously he's not leading with, I'm listening to my wife, but they are a power couple. And so if I'm going to, be doing anything, yes, these are the people I want to hear from. People that have a lot of skin in the freaking game. Cameo says Charles Munger Jr. is funding a No on 50 campaign. He's a Republican son of a billionaire. We got the flyer today. It's going to be a tough fight.
I don't know whether it will be a tough fight. Do you mean a tough fight like when they tried to recall Gavin Newsom and he beat it handily?
I was just going to say that.
What kind of tough fight in California? Because I kind of feel like, and maybe when we talked a little bit about this last week, how it could go wrong, right? Or maybe there's more Republican districts or Republican leaning areas than we thought, or tides have changed or what have you. But it seems like in this state, it's a pretty safe bet that we're going to want to fight Texas on this, that we're going to want to make sure that we send as many Democrats to Washington, D.C., so that we can have the majority, so that things like, I don't know, Trump going around Congress to do all the things he wants to do with tariffs, with pick a thing, right? How he's just crashing the Constitution and doing what he wants to anyway, with nominees. Who's Alina Habba, who's the DA for New Jersey, how they're trying to shoehorn her in there with going around Congress. All the things that Congress is supposed to do, he's trying to not let them do. And so if we really want Congress to work, we're going to have to take control.
There has to be some sort of check. I mean, again, it's rich that these California Republicans are like, I thought that it's not the right thing. That's why we have independent commissions. What do you expect us to do? Not respond? And just like Heather says, Republicans do something biased and unfair. Democrats respond in kinds. Republicans, hey, wait, that's not fair.
Yeah.
We have to have a check on it. We have to have a check on it. Former President Barack Obama, his response to all of this, he is supporting it. He said, over the long term, we should not have political gerrymandering in America, just a fair fight between Republicans and Democrats based on who has got better ideas. But since Texas is taking direction from a partisan White House and gerrymandering in the middle of a decade to try and maintain the House, despite their unpopular policies, I have tremendous respect for how Governor Newsom has approached this. He's put forward a smart, measured approach in California designed to address a very particular problem at a very particular moment in time. I mean, I think that Barack Obama has spoken sooner about Gavin Newsom's idea than he did about Biden running for president, or you know what I mean, or Kamala Harris. I mean, I think that gerrymandering is political. It just is, and it shouldn't happen, but it does. You should always run on the best ideas. And the fact that Donald Trump knows that he needs 5 seats, or at least needs to try to get those 5 seats, tells us everything we need to know about his confidence in his policies. If his policies were so popular, run on them.
Yeah.
Just run on them. But he doesn't want to. He's literally doing something that is so unpopular, that is so not done, and yet it's not giving it up. Even with all the bad press, what does that tell you? Everything you need to know. Yeah. So again, we didn't need to go down this road. And I think that is the only thing we need to say leading up to the November vote and after, is we only did this because Republicans didn't want to fight fair. That's it. We don't say anything else. We did not want to do this at all, because we do have an independent commission and we wanted to keep it that way. So, and again, look what else Trump is trying to do. It's as if he knows, you know what I mean? He wants to get rid of mail-in ballots. Now, we all know that he always hated mail-in ballots because he doesn't understand mail-in balloting, because he thought he won, and then the mail-in ballots started getting counted, and he had no concept of the fact that more Democrats vote by mail-in ballots. And so he didn't understand the whole, like, oh my God, they started counting them and I lost. Remember that whole thing? So yeah, he's an idiot. So he wants to get rid of it. And it's so asinine. And the thing that also bothers me, and that I wish that Gavin Newsom needs to do a new meme about, is he says things that are blatantly untrue. He says, we are the only country that has mail-in voting.
Along with
so
Germany
many countries.
And France and 22 other countries. Yeah, I know.
And nobody says anything. Like, nobody says of the right-wing pundits, no, sir, that is not right. If Biden said that, if Kamala Harris or Obama said that, they would be talking about, dementia. But Trump says something that is blatantly false that you could fact check right then and there, and nobody says anything. And that's your president, John. You know what I mean? Like, why do you not have a problem with your president lying straight to your face? It boggles my friggin' mind. Thank you, Cindy, for the $10 donation. I love it. She says, I love your show. Dems in gerrymandered states get more votes but less seats in the legislature. So Dems must fight back. Gerrymander in the least revolting of all the Republican voter suppression tactics. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's and thank you again for the donation. It's so It's the least we can do. You know what I mean? This is absolutely the least we can do because we could get dirtier, right? We could actually do all the things they think we do, but we don't. There is no friggin' deep state. We don't control the voting machines because they had to pay out millions upon millions of dollars because they know that that's not true. Like, none of that's true. None of that is true. We win elections, we lose elections. That's how it happens. Except when Donald Trump and Republicans lose, they think we cheated. They're just sore losers. That's it.
If you look at all of the ways that they have cheated lately, redistricting is the only way that we can fight back.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, sink down to their level. Greg Palast does a lot of reporting about how there was a huge GOP push to throw Democrats off the voter rolls.
Yeah.
Right. They wanted Democrats to, you can call it registrar or whomever and challenge someone's vote. So they did it to all these Democrats. And I don't think there was the same type of campaign for Democrats to take votes away from Republicans in that same fashion.
No.
And I honestly wouldn't advise it either because it seems so, I don't know, like you really don't care about a person's voice. And I know they didn't care about blue voices at all, but I care about everyone having a voice. And so I would never pick up a phone and challenge someone's vote unless I knew that they were fraudulently voting or
Exactly.
somehow.
Exactly.
But I would never try to help kick someone off of a voter roll that rightfully had every reason to have their voice heard. But that's what they did to Democrats. So when you look at the ways you can fight back, it seems redistricting to me is the most palatable tit for tat.
Absolutely. Harry, thank you so much for the $5 donation. The GOP has the best gerrymandering. Yeah. At least they have the best, awful way of doing it. And I will say this in a bad genius kind of way. They come up with these ideas. It's as if, what is it, Mr. Burns from The Simpsons? You know what I mean? It's like, what evil thing can we think of next? It's just like when Donald Trump, doesn't want to give help to blue states that are going through tragedies and emergencies and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And there's that quote from Biden where he sends help to all the red states, and people are like, why do you do that? It's like, they need it the most. Because it doesn't matter whether you're red, blue, or purple. We're all supposed to be Americans. And this whole Republican talking point about, yes, let's leave it up to the states. Let's leave this law up to the states. Then we're not united anymore. If my rights change when I take a long drive across country, then we're not a country anymore.
Right.
We're just not. And that's the problem, is that this idea of states' rights is going a bit too far when you're taking away people's fundamental rights that were constitutional rights. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Imagine knowing that your policies and what you're doing are so unpopular that you have to squeeze more Republicans' districts out in these states in order to maintain control.
Yeah.
I argue, if you were doing a great job, if the people of America were like, oh my God, this is the best. Look at all the things he's doing for me.
Yeah.
Look at all the people he's helping that are too poor to afford healthcare. Look at how the prices at the grocery store have gone down. Oh my, isn't it the greatest that all of our information is with all of the Social Security people, and there's a chance they could take it private? Like all of these things. If they were doing the things we wanted to do, they wouldn't have to cheat like this.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have to worry that they wouldn't have the votes in the districts as currently designed. But because they know that they are unpopular with people, they're doing two things. They're redistricting to try to make sure they maintain control, and they're coming up with some plan to thwart civil unrest by having the National Guard available at any given moment should major protests break out. Why would there be major protests? What are you doing that would make me want to take to the street?
Yep. And anytime, did you see this? Did you see Elaine Stefanik was in her district and she was doing some sort of commemoration and she was booed and booed.
Yeah.
And anytime, and this is another thing that's dangerous. Anytime a Republican is booed, they say, oh, these leftists.
Mhm.
So what does that tell you? If you're a Republican voter, you cannot disagree with your congressperson or your senator because they won't hear you, because you will be deemed a left-leaning voter. You cannot boo them. You cannot protest them because they will not believe that you are one of their constituents. That is a very dangerous mentality for these lawmakers to have, or at least publicly say. I mean, they might believe like, oh my God, these are my constituents, but they don't say it publicly and they're not listening to you. And Phineas, you're absolutely right. Remove the Electoral College, pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, and overturn Citizens United. Start with Citizens United, and I would be happy with that. It's the only way we, the people, get our rights back. You would literally have to replace the Supreme Court. I mean, I don't see any way. I don't see any way of any of it. The Electoral College, we bitch about that every friggin' year, every election, never going to happen. I really don't think so. Even though I was listening to this argument about how the Electoral College is DEI and like they were going back and forth about it and it was absolutely hilarious. Oh, this is the booing. Oh, it was excellent. Go ahead, play it.
I mean, she can't even get a word out.
No, she couldn't. You're ungodly. Yeah.
Anyway, that is. They don't like her.
No, and she's so unlikable. I mean, what has she done? I mean, honestly, what has she done? She was like this close to be part. What she was going to be part of the cabinet, right? And like they're like, no, we're taking that away from you at the last minute.
She had some radical shift. Like she was a normal person at one point, a normal conservative person with, different ideas than I may have, but reasonable and seemingly intelligent. And then she swallowed some kind of MAGA crazy pill and she went nutso off the deep end. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She was going to go to the UN. That's what happens. You drink the Kool-Aid, and they say that we have Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like you lost your marbles. Whatever. But still, I really feel like between the redistricting nonsense, the getting rid of mail-in voting, Trump, if things were going so well for you, why all the tricks? Why all the tricks? You know what I mean? And again, I'm not saying Democrats are perfect. And I know that I read the comments, in the shows after, and I know people are like, oh my God, like everything is perfect. But I know that we're not perfect. I would never live in another state, especially after driving cross country. The weather alone is keeping me here. But I would never live in another state. I love living in California. I'm biased because I'm born and raised here, but I know that we have problems. But, you don't just pick up and leave because of the problems. And I also understand how huge we are. But did you see the Bed Bath & Beyond story, Kim?
Yes.
I had to laugh because, again, this also has to do with Governor Newsom. So Bed Bath & Beyond, they did file for bankruptcy years ago, a few years ago.
Sure.
I don't know. And then they went online, right? So they filed for bankruptcy and they decided to move all of their stuff online.
Yeah.
And who's clamoring for Bed Bath & Beyond to return? I don't know. And I'm not knocking them. Like,
has your life been fine without it?
I haven't thought about Bed Bath & Beyond.
I have been to a Bed Bath & Beyond a time or two, and it was a great store to have around. But it's not like I'm suffering without a Bed Bath & Beyond.
Exactly. I don't even go to Target that much anymore. But again, you want to know why? Thanks, Trump. I don't have the money to go shopping that much anymore because of inflation. You know what I mean? So Trump did that. Thank you, Trump. But anyways, so the owner or the whatever of the CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, he makes this whole long post about how, I'm not opening up a store. He's only opened one so far, but I'm not opening up a store in California because of it's not very friendly to businesses. And so Governor Newsom basically trolls the dude and says something to the effect of, he says, after their bankruptcy and closure of every store, like most Americans, we thought Bed Bath & Beyond no longer existed. We wish them well in their efforts to become relevant again as they try to open a second store. Like, it was snarky. Like, it definitely was snarky. But it's true. Like, I don't understand why you have to bring California into it. But this is what I'm saying. You brought California into it. This is my thoughts. Because it gets you headlines.
Yeah.
California, again, will give you what you need. We give to those red states that you will go to because we fund those cheap ass states. Okay. Those broke ass states that take our money, we fund them. You know, when they say, oh, we pick ourselves up from our bootstraps, we provided those bootstraps for you as the fourth largest economy in the world. So we will also give you, CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, the free advertising you need, because as you criticize us for being bad for business, we will also provide you the free advertising that you need. I mean, it's as simple as that. He just uses California for clicks. That's just my thinking about why he came out and why mention it? Oh, I'm not going to open in California. Okay. Nobody asked.
Maybe the red states will then flock to you. I don't know. Throw down an anti-trans policy, and you're golden in Texas.
Exactly. It doesn't. Nobody was asking. You don't have to announce you're not coming. Like, like nobody was inviting you. Nobody's like, where is Bed Bath & Beyond? Like,
we don't care.
Good luck. And he did wish you luck. Like, he's like, good luck. Nobody was. He got all butthurt. He's like, I thought he'd respond to my tweet. I thought he'd be nicer. Dude, you weren't nice. Like. Now he's all butthurt about it too. Cameo, bringing up Cracker Barrel. Thank you for bringing up Cracker Barrel. So Cracker Barrel stock has gone down for the simple reason that they have redone their logo for some godforsaken reason. Okay, the one on the left is the one that they have used forever. Okay,
with the old guy
with the barrel. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they decided for some reason to go with the one on the right. And I love how this headline from CNN, Cracker Barrel stock tanks after unveiling controversial logo change.
Does it look that controversial to you? Do you know why it's controversial? Because their CEO is thought to be someone who's too woke, who's too into DEI policies, who's too blue. And so by changing the logo, you're leaving the past behind, and you must be, I don't know, ditching the white guy in the rocking chair or what have you. It's too much. It's too much for people. They just want their Cracker Barrel logo, Nikki. That's all.
Well, I thought also they were moving away from the barrel because inside the store, they're also moving away from that whole, anyone that's been in a Cracker Barrel, it's a restaurant. And then it's like this gigantic store that has knickknacks and all this kind of crap you can buy, right? And so you walk through it and it has, tchotchkes and aprons and all kinds of stuff. And so I don't know, maybe they wanted to make it less busy because the store is going to be less busy. I like the one on the left more. I'll be honest. I think it's I don't know, it's cuter, right? But whatever.
You like the old guy?
I don't know. I think that it's not as bland.
See, I like the other one. I think it's cleaner and crisper and gets more attention.
I like the one on the reason I like the one on the left is the one on the right seems to me boring. It just does. I think it's a little kitschy on the left, which is what I think of when I think of Cracker Barrel. Now, if they're moving away from that, then I guess go to the right. But honestly,
think it's too busy. It's too busy. There's too much going on there. You got the guy, you got the chair, you got the barrel, you got the weird kidney bean shaped logo with the bead that's half missing, old country store underneath. It's too much. There's too much that it's from a marketing perspective. It's too much going on there.
Phineas says Cracker Barrel is like if Country Bear Jamboree had a store. Yeah, there is so much. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, oh, look at Ren. Wow, I never noticed before that the K in cracker could be considered the tail of a whip, as in white cracker.
Oh,
like slave whipper.
I didn't take that from it, but okay.
Or, okay, I mean, if we're going to go down that road, maybe it's like a lasso. I mean, like, it could be that. I mean, I don't want to like look for things because then that's just weird. You know what I mean? Like, let's not do that. But I hear what you're saying. I just feel like if you're looking for a logo, the one on the right is very updated, very modern. I will give you that, Kim. I definitely think the one on the left is definitely more antiquated, and I like it. I will say that. I like it. But you know what? Also, I don't give a shit. I don't think that I have thought about Cracker Barrel's logo.
Cracker Barrel and Bed Bath and Beyond. My life is too busy to worry.
That is just my thing. Now, I do think that logos matter. I do think that branding matters. I think that if you're going to change something that's been a long-standing logo, you really should put some thought into it, because when you change things too much, people are like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. I think about like HBO and HBO Max, and then Max, and now it's back to HBO. Dumb. That was stupid. But now we have
MS Now.
What do you think?
Opinion.
What the
wonder?
Hell? What do you think about this?
News, opinion, world,
my source, news, opinion, world. And I'm so glad they included the lines, because when they said what it stood for, I had no idea how to say it. It's like my source, news, opinion, world. Like, I didn't know where to put the pause. Like,
they have to give up the peacock too. They have to ditch the peacock as part of this whole thing.
Why did they keep the MS, the Microsoft part? That's why, like, we're keeping Microsoft. You haven't been attached to Microsoft in forever, but we're going to get rid of the NBC.
If you ditch the MS, it might be too hard to know what, like, at least there's still an MS. And so you kind of can, I don't know, people can find you in this way. Maybe it's a stretch.
Over NBC, I don't know. I just feel like this is so weird. I understand the news opinion. I actually like. Let's make it clear what we do. We do news and we do opinion. I think that that's fabulous. Can we start being honest about the crap that we put on our show? Please. Josh. Snow. Exactly. Like, it's who designed this? Who came up with this? It really is important to get it right. I don't know if MS Now is right, but you're stuck with it now.
What else would you have done?
I don't know if I would have changed it. I mean, I know that
legally they had to. It was part of some kind of settlement deal. They had to get rid of it.
They had to get rid of all of it.
They're being spun off, and they're no longer part of NBC. So that's why they're giving up the Peacock and they're giving up the NBC. They had to change it.
Okay. I mean,
so if you have no choice and you must change it, what are you going to do?
I mean, I could have done, I guess they can't do MSNO.
MS no.
Ms. No. Like, no, you don't want no. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just don't know if I like it. MS Now. Hey, news. It's hard. It's hard to redo a news channel. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. And MSNBC is definitely known for leaning left, right? Like, they already have that sort of thing. Exactly, Heather.
It's more blue than red.
Yes, obviously. The whole red and blue thing. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But again, logos are important. Branding is important. And we'll see. A lot of people have been obviously ridiculing it, making fun of it. But you're right. What do you do? I mean, you got to do something.
Yeah.
I just think that, did you bring in the right people to come up with that? You know what I mean? Like, were the right people at the table? Were the right designers brought in? I have no idea. News Now. Oh, News Now.
News Now would have been pretty good.
News Now.
But then it really leaves out the opinion situation.
Yeah. I really do think that we really need to get back to being honest about what we do. And with 24-hour news channels being a lot of opinion.
Mhm.
Like opinion and some news thrown in. Like, I have no idea.
MS
TSN, Trump sucks network. Yeah, exactly. News Now. I mean, News Now, NN.
Yeah.
NN. I mean, CNN that's very close. News and Views. Oh, I like that. News and Views. That's pretty cool. See, even this show is coming up with something better than MS Now.
I don't think they would have done anything like, I don't know, kitschy like that. I think they
wouldn't have a guy with a barrel.
No, they want a guy with a barrel. They would still want an acronym. They're probably trying to retain some identity of what they had, which is why they kept the MS, right? Because they didn't have to ditch that, so they can keep it and still, like, I don't know. How close can you be but still make it different?
Right. I mean, could they have gotten rid of the MS? I mean, again,
Maybe.
they're not associated with Microsoft either.
Mhm.
Like, they got rid of NBC because they're not tied to Microsoft either.
Right.
So they could have had a clean effing slate. But then that's very dangerous because when people are going through their channels, they're like, but OWN is out there, Newsmax is out there. People get used to new crap all the time. Maybe they needed to do that. Maybe that would have been like, ooh, new news channel. The new news, or
whatever it is. Now you sound like
a
Kelsey brother. Yeah,
exactly. Who knows? I don't know. But
so about an hour ago, the state legislature did vote to accept the plan to put Newsom's election rigging act before voters, and he did speak. Do you have any interest in hearing what he had to say?
Lay it on me, babe.
All
right.
Political party and political stripes. Let me just briefly reinforce, because I'm eager to sign a bill that no other governor in U.S. history has ever signed, a bill that will put the maps in front of the voters. We will be the first state in U.S. history to, in the most democratic way, submit to the people of our state the ability to determine their own maps. That simply has not been done. But I want to first just briefly back up and pick up a little bit on what the speaker and the pro tem said, and just remind everybody what they reminded you that need to be reminded, all of us again, of how we got here. We got here because the President of the United States is struggling. We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. We got here because of his failed policies. Those are being exposed hour by hour, reinforced today by Walmart announcing they'll be raising prices because of the tax increases, because of the tariffs. Reminded every day by a slowing economy, growing mistrust, distrust all across this nation, across the board. He is failing. He recognized that. And that's why he made a phone call to Greg Abbott asking for 5 seats. Can't win by playing by traditional sets of rules. He plays by no rules. I remind you all the time, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of dawn. And we're standing up to that. We're responding to that. They fired the first shot, Texas. We wouldn't be here had Texas not done what they just did. Donald Trump didn't do what he just did. He went so far as to follow up and say that he didn't just want those 5 seats. He said he's, quote unquote, entitled to those 5 seats. Just pause and reflect on that. Everything should have just stopped there. President of the United States claiming he's entitled to 5 seats. That should put chills up your spine. Every Republican, not just Democrat and Independent, every American, those enduring values that we celebrate, just celebrated 249 years, the best of the Roman Republic, Greek democracy, the rule of law, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty. What we'll celebrate, will we? Next year, the 250th anniversary. Masked men at the site of the Japanese that were interned and bussed in Little Tokyo last week in Los Angeles were sent right there in front of the Democracy Center as we kicked off this effort. That's a preview of things to come all across the United States of America. Mark my word, just as we let folks know what was going to happen in other cities, what is happening in Washington, D.C. We said 2 months ago, Los Angeles is a preview of things to come with the federalization of the National Guard, with the militarization of the streets of America. And I'll remind you, Donald Trump never sent the military, active duty military, in his first term or now even his second term, anywhere overseas. He sent them to a United States city.
Yep.
They remain federalized National Guard, interestingly, through Election Day. $175 billion in the bill that was just signed to reinforce the ranks of ICE, Homeland Security, for what is increasingly becoming self-evident to anyone with eyes wide open and any level of objectivity, a private army for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Owing an oath only to him, not the Constitution of the United States. You just heard from the speaker that vote in mail ballots are being threatened by the President of the United States. 80% of Californians, no coincidence, 80% submitted their ballots in the last election, 86% in 2020, 2022, 88.
Deposit for a
Calling
second.
in the FBI.
Oh, sorry, and then I screwed it up. Do you think, though, that Californians will go to the polls, even if somehow Trump makes mail-in voting illegal?
If he does it.
Not
Oh,
allowed,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
we're going to the polls. Like 80%
yeah.
of us. I mean, there are people that are infirmed, right? That can't get to the polls for whatever reason. I tend to think that they will have a lot of help getting to the polls this time around.
There's
But
no way
I
he can
think
get rid of mail-in voting. There's just no way. There's no way.
I think he's really going to try it. He'll really try it.
The only reason why I feel confident, and I know I shouldn't because, oh my God, everything else,
Mm-hmm.
is it really is up to the states.
Yeah.
I mean, you would really have to change something fundamental about our elections. And that would be a very dangerous thing to change because of what you would be giving up if you're going to say that, because that's assuming you always stay in power. So that would just go against everything.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they would be able to do that. But at the same time, if it happened, we would find some way of I mean, I think it would piss off so many older people that, yeah. The thing that pisses me off, though, are the people that don't vote. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. States own it according to the Constitution. That's exactly right. I mean, it would just be too difficult. He just wants it. He just says it. You know what I mean? He votes by mail. Donald Trump has voted by mail. I mean,
so silly.
He's such an asshat. So but what he said about the fact that he has turned the military on his own people, really remember that, because I just was on this, like, I was online and someone was saying how anti-war Donald Trump is because he doesn't, he's trying to stop this war overseas and that war overseas. And I'm like, he wants a civil fucking war. Are you kidding me right now? Like,
who just sent 3 warships to South America?
Like, it's like, I mean, what are you
the U.S.
talking?
Marines to Los Angeles?
Exactly. I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, I don't know what people see in him as like, oh, he needs the Nobel Peace Prize. And he's been like, are you kidding me? He is the biggest divider. He feeds on it.
Yeah.
And what he is, again, going back to what I said at the beginning, what he has done, the division he has done in this country is reprehensible. And he loves it. He loves it. And all these people, oh, Donald Trump can't do anything, and the left would hate him for it. He doesn't do anything for the left. Nothing. How about he say something nice about the left? How about he lead by example? He can't. Yeah, nope. Mindy, Trump just wants everyone to stay home and not vote so he can stay in power. Exactly. You don't have to vote anymore. Remember, he said it. You won't have to vote anymore. I don't want you to vote anymore.
Right.
I don't want you to vote anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope, again, sometimes we talk about this. We have this little California bubble. Yeah. We want everywhere to be California, right? Like, we're like, oh, charge. We want everyone to have all these freedoms and rights and acceptance. And then we look around and we realize that that's not the way the world works, people. You know what I mean?
I love Teacher Lori doesn't forget. He did this last time. Remember, he was against mail-in ballots. He thought they should go away. And then all of a sudden he was for mail-in ballots.
Yep.
When he thought it would benefit him. And now he's against it again when he thinks it won't benefit him. He's back and forth depending on the whim of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, mail-in ballots are fine. The voting system works. We catch people that cheat. There are so many safeguards. It's stupid to continue to have this conversation. It's as stupid as still debating, the elections that he lost. It's just dumb. It's just him and his ego and not being able to let shit go. Trump is trying to convince Americans that the voting process is not reliable. Exactly. Because he can't get over the fact that he lost. That's it. That's why he has to keep it going, is because he can't stand that he lost.
That's an interesting thought. John Watson asks whether Trump can tell the U.S. Post Office not to deliver mail-in ballots if he has control over the federal post office.
Oh, God, my God. Why do you guys come up with these nightmares for me? Like, what the hell?
He could, though. Like, would you put anything against him or past him at this point?
Think you do that, though. I mean, my God. But I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And suddenly,
now
we all have a
universe
question mark as to whether we trust the post office. Right.
Jesus, Lord Almighty. You guys, stop putting ideas in the guy's head. You know what I mean? Like, that's Jesus, Lord. That would be, if he told, how would you do that? They'd have to go through the mail, which is a crime, and pull things out. Right.
Well, they already sort the mail at all the different post offices. So it wouldn't be too hard to find the one that looks like
that's manipulating the mail, right? Like, you can't.
They have to sort it anyway. So they just put the ballots into a basket and don't deliver those.
I think that's against the law. You can't do that.
I don't know what the law says. The law says, as a citizen, that I can't go into your mailbox and tamper with your federal mail, right? That's been delivered by a federal post office person. But it doesn't say anything, does it, about what the post office can do?
Rhonda, thank you so much for being back. Thanks, Nikki and Kim. Sorry I was gone so long. Love you. Thank you for the donation and being back. Look, he'll try anything. I mean, if the guy could go and steal your vote, literally your hand, he would. You know what I mean? But again, it all goes back to, if he had the best ideas, just run on them. That's it. Just run on them. And that's what Democrats do. And that's the problem, is that we don't want to cheat. But we got to do this crap, this whole stupid redistricting crap. Now we're in it. And I applaud Newsom. Let's do it. It's stupid. Let's plug our nose and do this BS, because again, we do it the right way with independent commissions and all that crap, even though gerrymandering is bullshit. Everybody does it. It's stupid. We shouldn't. There should be a way of just, do it by zip codes or whatever. But I don't know. Let's just hope and pray that it works. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's switch gears. All right, let's in the last half hour or so, okay, so I found this video of somebody that's starting a new podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but
okay.
Somebody posted it and they're like, it was an immediate subscribe just from this one video alone. And I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to play you a clip. You guys can subscribe to it if you want to. And I was thinking to myself, if I was in this position, how much would I share if I was in this position? And I want you to watch the video and, think to yourself, if I was in this position, would I be able to sit across this person and share something so personal? All right. So I'm giving it to you cold.
Okay.
All right. Well, actually, I'll give you a little bit of teaser. Okay. In case you didn't know, Maury Povich has a new podcast And his guest is Connie Chung, who he is married to. Okay. You just
You
need to know
became a
that.
big star.
Well, no, I mean, whatever.
And you kind of messed around with stars.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't mess around with stars.
Yeah. I think you can name a few.
No, I'm not. No, I did not. I did not mess around with them. I knew them. You messed around with them. It's in the book.
Yeah, it is. But
Warren Beatty.
um,
You know
Yeah,
what my
but-
sister said about Warren Beatty?
yes, he was
Every
the
woman
immi-
who came to California had to go through him. It was like an immigration system. You became a big star.
So apparently Connie Chung had an affair with Warren Beatty. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to do a podcast with my spouse. And obviously Connie Chung's written a book and that's why he's interviewing her.
Yeah.
But to disclose an extramarital affair, then obviously she wrote about it in the book. And I know it's Maury, like the king of like scandal. Exactly. Wouldn't that be awkward as heck? To just
I mean-
Warren Beatty was a slut.
She put it in the book. She wrote about it. So she must be okay with discussing it, talking about it, having people know about it and talk about it. You know what I mean? So what does it matter if, and I would imagine that she and her husband have talked about this in the past before
They're
the
still
book came
married.
Yeah.
They're still married.
Hmm.
I'm gonna Google this while we're talking, but they are still, they're still married. They've been married forever. And I always found them to be the oddest couple. Just,
Mhm.
just like she's the serious newswoman.
Right.
And he's like you are not the father guy. I always
Yeah.
found that to be like the oddest. Apparently, just a little insight. I think he started wanting to do his talk show to be kind of like Donahue and serious. But then once he started doing the paternity test, like he
And the
could
ratings
not
took off.
stop.
Right.
Like, they're like, he could not stop doing "You Are Not the Father" shows. I don't know. I think the only reason I'm talking about this is, everyone and their mother does podcasts and things like that. But if you had a spouse and you brought your spouse on, how much do you think that you would want to divulge in this day and age of like sharing everything? That's my question. If you
Well,
want to do it for clicks, if you're doing a podcast, obviously you want to get views, you want to get people to listen. And I know that they're Maury Povich and Connie Chung, so they come with whatever. But if you're trying to start a podcast, how much would you share about your private life?
Well, I mean, I would assume that if it's your husband, he knows all about your private life, right? I mean,
No, but with the public, I mean.
oh, with the public. I mean, then don't write the tell-all book.
On the podcast, would you say? No, I'm not. I'm moving off of them. If you did a podcast with David,
Right. Yeah.
would you ever share anything like personal like that?
I think he knows it all. Like at this point, we've been married for more than 20 years. So, all the stories have been told.
What would you tell them to the public?
I guess I might feel if you're in a room with your significant other, that might be, although I'm pretty comfortable with you as well, but that might be the only person that you would like let your guard down and feel
Right.
like you could talk like you talk at the kitchen table,
Yes,
right?
Don't you
And
think that?
so
Yeah, you need to
maybe it would-
overshare like Heather. Like Heather's son.
Yeah. So maybe it would be easier in that case to like, tell things that you really ought not to tell. Oversharing. Yeah.
Yeah, Yvonne. Yeah, Kim. Why did she put it in the book? Warren Beatty too. Like, I guess he was hot back in the day. I always look at actors that are gorgeous now, and I go, "Is like, oh, are they going to look like who is it? Clint Eastwood. His son is gorgeous, by the
Looks
way,
just like him.
and looks
Yeah.
just like him. Like, and now I'm like, that's exactly why people loved Clint Eastwood back in the day. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, he looks just like his son.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that's what Warren Beatty was back in the day, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to post that comment right there. Mama says, I'm at the point in my life where I don't give a poop what anyone thinks of me. So I just answer the questions honestly. Also, I'm not a good liar. That's a good point. It's just like at some point you're just like, I don't give a shit. Like whatever. You can ask me whatever you want.
I think also
yeah.
when you get older, there's a tendency to write a memoir, look back at your life,
Yeah.
look back at the things that you've done. And you have, as we've talked about in the past, these prompts that you can get for the gifts that you can buy,
Mhm.
where people are sent a prompt every day to talk about something that happened in their life or some aspect of their life, so they can have a book of all the stories they want to leave behind, type of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
maybe she's getting into it now, and she wants to
She
tell
looks
all the
good
stories.
too. Oh,
Yeah.
she still looks good. I know
Mhm.
Matthew. When Matthew gets old, I mean, he's getting up there, but so am I. So, I don't know what yeah,
You'll
it's going to be one of
forever
those things.
You'll forever be able to tell the story of the time Dillette sent you to San Francisco just
I
to
swear.
meet your Matthew at a book signing.
So it's so funny at the school that I work at, they did this whole like getting to know you thing. And they do the you have to fill in the box of like find a person in the room that had this, that, and the other. And one of the boxes has met a celebrity. And so someone came up to me and I was like, oh, I could fill that box. And you have to
Mhm.
tell the person like who you met and what the story
Sure.
was. And so they're like, who did you meet? And I show them my phone. They're like, oh my God. And they're like, and that's the picture you have on your phone, not your kids, not your husband. I
No,
was like,
Matthew.
I see them every day. I was like, I do not see Matthew McConaughey every day. I see him on my phone every day. Thank you, Karen, for the $20 donation. You are
Karen,
so generous. Thank
really
you.
awesome. Thank you
We
for
love
that.
you. But yeah, meeting Matthew McConaughey, it's going to go in my memoir. Just like it was yesterday. I'm telling you. What do you think is the best age to write your memoir? Some people write it like in the middle of their life because they had like this amazing like thing, but I
Maybe they
mean,
have a lot. I mean, for me, maybe in my 30s, I didn't have enough yet. I didn't have kids until I was 38. So that's kind
yeah,
of a whole nother lifetime. It's a whole different life. I would
yeah,
say probably maybe in your late 60s, early 70s.
yeah. You want to be like young enough to like write
Write
it,
it.
and then if
And
it's
old enough
good,
to have had a life full of good stuff.
right?
But then
Exactly.
if you do write it, say you're like 84, say you're 70,
Right.
72, and you write your memoir, are you saying that nothing good is going to happen to you from 72 to the time you kick the
You
bucket?
can add an addendum.
Because I don't know if I'm really ready to admit that. I mean, 72 could bring some fun stuff. I don't
Right,
know.
exactly. It's like, and then what happened? You know what I mean? I just love the idea of books. I read that in 2023, something like 43% of people didn't read a book at all in 2023.
Oh,
That is insane.
yeah.
How many books have you read this year?
Well, I'm in book club. My
Oh, well, that's good.
mom's book club. So I'm reading about, I don't know, at the very minimum, like as far as like a non-trashy book, like a real book.
Hey, trashy books count, but okay.
Oh, then I'm reading 4 or 5 a week at least. I mean, I churn through those like butter.
She's
But
like,
if we're talking like a real like
yeah,
literary piece, I
yeah.
would say at least one every month and a half.
Yeah, I'm about that too.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't read enough I read, the road trip book that you gave me on the trip. That was pretty much the only book that I read on my road trip.
Did you like that book?
So yeah, I did. I did like that. Well, I mean, I had a love-hate relationship, as I told you with that book. So I did not read enough but I did read Razor Blade Tears before that. And I'm just starting a different type of book because I'm trying to actually write a book. So I'm learning about writing a book. So I'm reading a book about writing a book. So that's not actually like a book. But yeah, I like to read different types of books. So I need to get a fun book now to read. So if anyone has any recommendations, I try to read about a book every month, every other month or so. You have to keep reading. Otherwise, I will scroll on my phone every night. I don't often read, though, nonfiction. I often read fiction.
Mhm.
So I don't know how many memoirs I would be reading. But if you wrote one, Kim, I
It
would
has to be
definitely read one.
you'd be in there. It has to be someone that you're interested in, right? I mean, because you're
Yeah,
not
I read Ellen's and
okay.
comedians I've read because I find them funny. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So if it's funny, I'll read them. I'm not going to read. I'm not a historian. I don't get off on that kind of crap. Sorry. I just don't.
That's what my husband
Um,
reads, history books about wars and things. I'm like, oh,
my
no,
husband does that
thank
too. I'm
you.
like, no, thank you. Yeah, you love Yvonne loves biographies. It
Mhm.
matters who it is. Although, I loved Green Lights, which is Matthew McConaughey. Basically, he wrote a memoir about his early life. Green Lights. He's coming out with a book of poetry also, by the way. And I
Oh,
might actually rebuy his book because he does it by an audiobook. I can't believe I have not bought his audiobook yet. I just listened to him read it to me, but whatever.
you should. The current book club book this month for me is called Small Great Things by
Mhm.
Jodi Picoult.
Oh, I like Jodi Picoult. I
Yeah,
like
me too.
her. Okay.
Mhm.
I like her.
Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea Handler has a book. Okay. She's funny. Yeah, I would never read a book about Trump. Like, please. Like, I need any more of him in my life. No, thank you. But
Speaking
yeah.
of books, you know who has a book right now is Kamala Harris wrote a memoir, and she's touring and talking about it. And
Oh,
the
okay.
question I have about that is oftentimes when someone has an intent of running for president, they'll put out a book ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this means that she's going to throw her hat in the ring for 2028. If that's what this means. I don't know, but I can say that she has announced a 15-city international tour for her upcoming memoir. It's called 107 Days.
Oh,
About the
about
run-up.
obviously,
Mhm.
yeah.
It details her presidential run, goes on sale September 23rd. The tour will start in New York City on September 24th, so the following day. And then she'll hold events across the United States before she heads to London and then ends the tour in Miami in November. And I think that'll be a really interesting perspective of how she got to that place and what happened during those 107 days. The intensity with
Yeah.
which she had to move, that'll be a really interesting book. But
I
do you
think so
think
too.
do you think it means she's running?
I think she's definitely thinking about it. I
Mhm.
think she definitely wants to explain to the American public the behind the scenes of her running a little bit more, because I think people have a lot of assumptions about, like, because there's still this whole, like, you stole people's ability to choose their candidate and all
Mhm.
that kind of crap. And yeah, I think that she wants a chance to really get into the nuts and bolts of everything. So maybe still torn on whether or not I think she should run again, or if she should wait another cycle. I don't know. You know how I feel about that. This is the book that Kim gave me on my road trip, The Last American Road Trip.
Mhm.
Excellent book. But again, going on a road trip, reading it, and then living through it, I was very torn. It was a very,
Yeah.
but Sarah Kenzor, is that
Kenzior. Mhm.
Kenzior? Excellent writer. I
Yeah, oh,
mean,
so good.
the way she writes, I can only dream of writing.
Mhm.
And as you're driving, reading her is amazing. I will say that. Many parts were awesome. Many parts were absolutely depressing. So I will just say that. But she's an excellent writer and very, very, very good. We
So
want to get her on this show too.
I will say this, there was a poll done
Mhm.
with Governor Gavin Newsom and former Vice President Kamala Harris, and how they fare in the 2028 presidential election. And in this Politico poll, Newsom was over Harris by 6 points. And it may be because of this whole trolling Trump
Oh,
thing
I'm
that
sure.
he's become more popular. And it may be that when she goes on her book tour and the book comes out and everyone's reading it, that maybe she'll pop up. It's kind of too early to tell. But right now, surprisingly to me, it's Newsom over Harris by
I
6
am
points.
still torn on whether a
Mhm.
Californian can win the next presidency.
I don't think so. No,
I just don't think
especially
so.
now that we're fighting back with the whole redistricting thing, do we have the appeal to the red states, to the
But I
people
think
of the
that
red
Newsom
states?
can be a good, you know what I mean? Like a big thorn in the side of Republicans for whatever
Yeah.
candidate we do have. We could be, you know what I mean? Like the security. Like we could be the one that says all the mean things as we have a nice candidate running, you know? Like So we could say all the things that we want our candidate to say, but can't say. So Newsom could be the bully. You know what I
It's
mean?
I love that part of it. But when you have those two candidates next to each other, as we saw with Harris and Trump, what you're doing is giving us an alternative from Trump. Like if it's not Trump, who can we stomach, right? Who can we vote for? If you're not like a hardcore Democrat, if you're just some random voter who maybe half pays attention, but you don't really like Trump, but some guy from California is not going to float your boat. I don't know. I think we need to give voters across America a real candidate that they can look at and go, that person will work for me.
I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. 2028 is going to be very interesting to see who throws their hat in the race. But we have to find someone that is going to be palatable to America, not just us. I mean, we've talked about this a million times. You guys know I'm a huge Pete Buttigieg fan. You guys have been talking me out of it this whole entire time.
I love him too.
But
I truly do.
But again, we'll see. Again, we'll see. But again, yeah, Louis says, no, Harris will lose all swing states and red states for last time. She is infinitely qualified, but she is a woman of color from California. Right. She will never win. I know.
I hate that. I hate that, but it's true. Yeah. Same thing with Cory Booker, black dude.
Yeah, Cory Booker will never
Same
win.
thing with you or me, woman from California. Like, I mean, I include myself in the group of people that racist, misogynist America won't vote for, because that's apparently who we are as a nation. So if we're going to play their party games, then we have to pick somebody that they would vote for, right?
It sucks. And it sucks that we're like that, but we need to get in, right? It's just like we have to play the game, like what we're doing now with the redistricting. We have to play the game, because if we're not playing the game, then we've already lost. Yeah. Then we've already lost.
Yeah. Governor of Kentucky. That's Andy Beshear, right?
Yeah, that's Andy Beshear. Yeah. Maybe I like him. My sister-in-law lives in Kentucky. She likes him. So yeah, who knows? But again, it's only freaking August in the second term of Donald Trump. And everyone's like talking about the way, like, did you hear that Alex Jones was talking about how scared he is that Donald Trump's going to pass away? Have you heard Alex Jones? Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know who Alex Jones is. Sadly,
okay, so Alex Jones is an asshat, the whole Sandy Hook thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has come out saying that Donald Trump needs to work less hours a day because he is so scared that the guy's going to keel over, because he's 79. He works too many hours. You can already see by the end of the day, he sounds drunk. Like, this is Alex Jones talking about Trump in this way. So obviously it's not just us saying that dementia dawn, like other people, like Trumpers are like, uh-oh, this guy ain't looking too good. But I don't know. But again, we're only in August.
What does he do? I mean, he recently flew to Alaska. Sometimes
he said he was going to Russia.
Going to Russia, but he went to Alaska. Don't give it away. And then sometimes he'll go visit a disaster site. He went to Scotland. That was a nice little golfing trip.
Yeah.
But what does he do when he's at the White House or hanging out?
That's true.
He plays golf, has cost America, I think,
so much money
at this point in his presidency, more than any other president, as far as at this point in their presidency regarding golf trips. And he watches Fox on TV and sits on the couch in the residence. Like, what does he really do? How hard is he really working? I don't think he's working that hard.
I guess you have a point, but I think they make him stay up late. I think
he stays up late.
Stays up late watching
too many Diet Cokes.
Yeah, exactly. He stays up way too late watching Fox News and like screaming at the television, perhaps. But I mean, you're right. Who knows what he's actually doing? He tweets at 2:30 in the morning. What else is important? Yeah. He's insane. He golfs every weekend. Yeah.
Trump lives the life of a teenage girl. That's funny.
Speaking of teenage girls, are you watching signs, executive orders, and meetings of sycophants? Yeah. Basically. Mm-hmm. I wanted to end kind of on a weird "what are you watching" note, because you do Tim Seek on your show, but I don't. This isn't a movie.
Okay.
But this is I have been obsessed with watching two different sides of these shows.
Hmm.
Do you ever watch the sorority rush type of shows? There
No.
is the sorority moms. Hold on, I got to get the sorority moms guide to rush. This
Okay.
is a show on Lifetime. If you have Hulu Live, I have never been more depressed watching a show. This is just what I've been watching. I can't believe I'm watching the show, but it's a weekly show. It is about what moms do for their daughters, and it's mainly in the South, because I guess sororities are really, 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 really big in the South,
Hmm.
to get their daughters into sororities. And I had no effing idea how much money these people
Wait,
were putting
what?
into sororities.
Don't you just go to a
Oh no.
university
Oh no.
and you do
Oh
rush and you
no.
go through your
Oh
thing?
no.
Why are your parents involved?
start your senior year in high school. At the end of your senior year, it starts 6 months before you even go. I am blown. If anybody is a former sorority girl, please tell me. And I'm not judging you, but I'm like, I know that we have older ladies so this is a new thing, I think. I am telling you, people pay $1,000 for sorority coaches.
What?
A coach. That it's blowing my mind. And I'm talking about this because people are going off to college and they're starting their. I have been blown, and this is honestly mostly in the South. Okay, like Alabama, all those, Mississippi, Missouri, all those. Okay, and you're right, John. It really does matter, but South, very, very much the South. But these girls, 6 months before, you need a resume. You need a resume. You need the outfits. You need to scrub your social media because you can't show any boobs. You can't have a picture of you even holding a glass of iced tea because there might be alcohol in that glass. So all of your
Wait,
social media can't have that.
aren't
Okay.
sororities meant for drinking, boozing it up, and partying with
This
the
is the
fraternity?
South, sweetie. This is
Oh,
the South.
okay.
You can't have any videos that have you cussing because you might cuss in person, but we just don't do that in public. Okay. It is and then all of the videos are what you're wearing. So it is high-end jewelry, but it's the moms, Kim. It is the moms. And legacy no longer
Wow.
matters, John. So they say if they let in all of the legacy daughters, it would only be legacy daughters at this point, because so these moms are like, I went to this sorority, so my daughter has a leg in. They're like, nope, not anymore. Anyways, if you have Hulu or Lifetime and you want your mind blown, Sorority Mom's Guide to Rush, it's on Mondays. It
That's
will blow your
crazy.
mind. And
So
I don't know if it will depress you because it depressed the crap out of me, but I cannot not watch.
it's
I
like a
can't.
honey boo boo goes to college.
But these girls are gorgeous. And some of them are really, really sweet. Like the last episode was really sweet. I think her name was Hadley, and she was like a country girl. And so she's shopping for her dresses at like the country store. And the coach that came out, he's like, you just tell these girls that you got it at a boutique named Gracie's, like, because it was the store and they found some cute dresses, but these were like $40 dresses. And these girls are, buying them at these like $400 dresses, but they were cute, but not name brand. She got into one of the biggest sororities there, but it's insane. And the resumes. And the thing that made me so sad is they don't want you to be. They're like, if you think you're just going to walk on campus and be yourself,
What?
exactly. And I
This
was
is
like,
this
this
is
is
the
so
kind of message that's
sad.
bad.
It's
So,
insane.
so I
But I'm like, oh my God, it is so crazy. But it's the moms. The moms like want it more than the daughters in some. It
so
is
weird.
crazy.
Is it because they're legacy, so they were in it, so their daughters have to be in it?
Or it's the FOMO, I think. I think it's like they get all wrapped up in it. It's just like the dorm, the bed decorating thing, and you see it on social media. I definitely think there is this social media aspect, like, look what my daughter got into. And yeah, maybe it's a legacy thing. There was one daughter that's her mom adopted her when she was 60 years old. And so like she was a legacy, but she's older, and it was weird, kind of weird. But yeah, if you want your mind blown, that's what I'm watching right now. I'd love to get it. Everybody message me. It's insane.
My niece goes to UCLA.
Uh-huh.
And the thought was that it would be cheaper to live in a sorority than it would be to live in the dorm. So for her second year, she was going to move into a sorority house. So she rushed and she was accepted into this sorority.
Mhm.
And none of what you're describing happened. It was she went to school, she decided that she was going to try it out, she rushed, she got in. They will penalize you if you don't go to enough events. And
Right.
she couldn't keep up with classes and events, so she had to let the sorority go because she wanted to focus on school. So she didn't end up doing it, but it wasn't the same thing at all.
Yeah. In the South, it is huge. The houses on the campuses look like mini White Houses, like
Yeah.
huge. I mean, and it's a Southern thing. So I keep emphasizing the South because then there's a flip side to it. I think it's on A&E. It's the bad side of sorority and fraternities. And these are like the crimes and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to go on the dark side, you could do that. But we know those stories, like, you know, like the racist stuff and the drinking and the deaths and stuff like that. So you can go down that side. But this side, the money side, my mind was blown. And I don't look, I went to college. I never saw any of this. I went to Chico and for like 1 year, and then I went to San Jose State, and I didn't see any of it. But Chico, I saw tons of frat and sorority parties. I went. I didn't have to rush. I went to all the parties. I didn't have to do any of that crap. So I don't know. It was fine, but I was a girl. You know what I mean? Sam, love seeing you. And thank you so much for doing that. $10 donation from Sam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sam was able to give me my nikkimedoro.com website. And I love you so much for doing that. You are the absolutely best. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have a website.
Yeah, he had it and he gave me the domain, and I love him for it so very much. So thank you, Sam, for doing that for me. And thank you for the donation.
Really nice.
Sandy says, my niece went to college at LSU. She was in a sorority there. She had fun, but after she graduated, she moved back to California. Never looked back. Yeah. Teacher Lori, if you watch anything with women who went to historically Black colleges, I don't know what that means. They all talk about their sorority affiliation constantly, make lifelong connections for professional and social lives. Same with fraternities. I get it. I get the connections. I get that part. But the money, it's the money I can't get over. I just really can't get over the amount of money that they spend on that. Absolutely not. And it's all secretive. There's a lot of secrets that go on. I don't like that part either. So no.
So I'm watching this show that is a Nikki Medoro show. It's full on Nikki Medoro. And I don't know.
What is it?
I clicked on it to say, oh, this is interesting. And it's about, and I don't know the name of it. It's killing me.
Okay.
It's a TV series. And it's about this girl who, when the show opens, she's running from the scene of a fire and someone she thinks dies. And it opens with her running from police. And she ends up getting caught and taken to court. And they, because she's seen things, like she's had visions her whole life, she's taken to a mental hospital where she has to stay for a period of 2 years. And while there, I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's watching the show, she discovers that she's special. And there are a bunch of demons that are after her.
Interesting.
And they're creepy looking demons too. And the first time I saw the demon, I thought, oh, Nikki, really?
You're all, well, figure out the name of the show and then you're going to have to send it to me.
At this point, I'm blaming you for the show that you didn't even tell me to watch. Yeah.
Well, if anyone has any show recommendations, you can pass them along. But yeah, Sorority Moms to Rush, if you want to be disgusted by sororities, I don't know, but I'm fascinated by it at the same time. I guess I'm just fascinated by what people think the college experience needs to be. And I guess, and I'm going to be completely honest here, I think it's also has something to do with the fact that I'm sending my kids to community college first. So there is also this kind of like, am I taking something away from them? Like this whole like sending them off, like not giving them that. But there's no effing way, even if I was sending my kids to a 4-year at the beginning, that I would be sending them to go to a sorority or fraternity. Like, I'm not paying for
No.
that shit. Like,
If
I
they
was like,
want to rush, they're going to do it themselves, and they'll have to figure that out.
I don't think I
never
would
do
want
that.
I definitely don't think I would want my son to rush a fraternity.
No.
I honestly,
I mean,
don't.
maybe there are some that are cool, but
No.
for the most part,
The hazing, and we're in the news business.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just can't. Nah. There's too many bad stories I've heard. Not knocking fraternities. I just think that the drinking and all the pressure to drink, and it's bad enough in college, let alone add a fraternity on top of it. I'm sorry. I'm a news girl and I've watched what I just to, like put a cherry on top. My 1 year in Chico, a guy in a fraternity tried to walk along the edge of a roof, fell off, busted his head. I think that he still has brain damage to this day. Like,
God.
nah, we're not doing any of that stuff. So yeah, and that's the reason why I'm doing it all. Teacher Lori, I am definitely taking away that future debt. Okay, so that is our show. I want to say thank you to all the people that donated. And again, we are 100% crowdfunded. So if you can donate, please do. We love PayPal. We love PayPal. We love the super chat, super stickers. And we want to give our thanks to Cindy, who donated $10.
Yay,
Thank you
thank
so much,
you.
Cindy. Harry came in with $5. Thank you so much, Harry. Also, Luis came in with $5. Thank you, Luis. Rhonda, we love seeing your face, Rhonda. Thank you so much for the $5. Karen, you always are such a big supporter. Thank you for the $20. And Sam, thank you for being here and for the $10 donation. And if you can't support our show financially, please just share the show with your friends and make sure that you are also subscribed. That's another great way to support the show. All right. We will be back next week. We love you and stay safe and love you. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. Miss Brown, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.